Okay, so today is day one of unit one, and today we're looking at simplifying expressions. So today we should be able to simplify polynomial expressions using addition and subtraction in degree 1 or 2, and rewrite polynomial expressions degree 1, degree 2 in equivalent forms using the distributive property. So the distributive property states this: if I have something multiplying something in a parenthesis with addition or subtraction inside this parenthesis, I am to distribute this value to all the values inside, all the terms inside this polynomial. So this becomes a times b, and this becomes a times c. And because we were adding here, we keep it as adding here. So here, we would distribute this 2 to both the x and the negative 5. This becomes 2x. 2 times 5 is 10. Positive 2 times negative 5, that's negative 10. Here, we distribute our negative 3 to both of these terms. Negative 3 times d squared is negative 3d squared. Negative 3 times 4 is 12. Negative times a negative becomes a positive. So that becomes positive 12. So that's the distributive property. Everything inside the parenthesis gets multiplied by what's outside the parenthesis and distributed to it. The other thing that we need to do is combine like terms. Like terms are known as some same variable raised to the same power. So here we have three different terms. We have 3y squared, we have negative y squared, and we have 3y. This 3y is different because there is no squaring. So because this is to the power of 1, there's only one y here. These ones have powers of 2. They can combine. So this is saying I have 3y squares and I'm taking away a y squared. That means I would have 2y squares when I combine these terms. This 3y, nothing happens to it. There's nothing to combine it with. It was positive before, so it stays positive and becomes positive 3y. So that's combining like terms. We look for terms where they have the same variables and the variables are raised to the same power. They can be combined. Putting these two things together, we always distribute first. We want to get rid of the parentheses. So here, my 3 is on the outside of this parenthesis, this negative 3. So I'm going to distribute this whole negative 3 to the 6 and to the negative x. Nothing happens with this 5, so it's going to just chill right over there. 3 times 6, that's 18. Negative 3 times positive 6, that's negative 18. 3 times x, that's 3x. Negative 3 times negative x, negative times a negative makes a positive. Now I combine like terms. Here I have 5 minus 18. I can combine these terms. The green part's distributing. I got that done. Sorry. I can combine these terms. If I have 5 of something and I take 18 away, I am negative 13. And nothing happens with that 3x, so it's just going to hang out. Plus 3x. Now I have combined like terms. So that's the goal of today, is to be able to distribute and then combine like terms if we need. If we need to distribute, distribute. If we need to combine like terms, we combine like terms. So here, again, I have parentheses to start, so I want to distribute first. Negative 4 times 2 and negative 4 times 4. 4 times 2, that is 8. Negative times a positive, that's negative. And then that b is just there, so it's also multiplying that. So that becomes negative 8b. 4 times 4, that's 16. Negative times a positive, that's negative. I do not distribute to the 6 because the 6 is not inside the parenthesis. So this is just plus 6. Now I combine like terms. Nothing happens with this negative 8b. There's nothing to combine it with. So this is negative 8b. Negative 16 plus 6, I can combine these things. If I owe $16 and I pay 6, I still owe 10. And that's it. I have distributed, and I have combined like terms. This is as far as I can go with this expression. It's done. On problem number 6, there is nothing to distribute out in front of this. There is nothing here. So I'm left with 3x squared plus 2xy plus 1. That parenthesis just goes away. Here, I distribute this negative. So this is like waking up on the wrong side of the bed and everything's negative for the day. All of this stuff on the inside gets a negative. This becomes negative 4xy, and that becomes negative 2. Now I combine like terms. There's no more parentheses. They went away, which is what I wanted. Now I can combine like terms. There is nothing like this 3x squared. So 3x squared. And every time I deal with one of these terms, I'm going to cross it off. 2xy, I have a negative 4xy here. So if I have 2 of something and I take 4 away, I end up with negative 2. And the thing was xy's. So they go away. My last thing I have left, I have positive 1. I have negative 2. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. And that's it. None of these terms can combine together. None of the variables, none of them have the exact same variables and or to the same power, so they cannot combine. In problem number 7, step 1, again, is to distribute. I always want to, as soon as I see parentheses, I want to try and distribute to get rid of the parentheses here. Nothing happens with this 2m squared. Nothing happens with this positive 6m. I'm going to leave them. 3 times m squared is 3m squared. Negative 3 times positive m squared, so this is negative 3m squared. 3 times 1, that's 3. Negative 3 times positive 1, that's negative 3. Okay, let's combine like terms. I have a 2m squared here. I have a negative 3m squared here. So 2 of something, take 3 away. I'm left with negative 1m squared. I could also write this as just m squared, negative. And this goes away, and this goes away. I can't do anything with this 6m. It cannot combine with this negative 3. So this is plus 6m. And I can't do anything with that negative 3. So this is just simply negative 3. If you wrote this without the 1, this would be plus 6m. And this would be minus 3. Problem number 8, a rectangle. So as soon as I see this, the first thing I do is draw a rectangle. They told me a shape, I'm going to draw the shape. A rectangle has a length of 5x minus 2. So length 5x minus 2. And a width of x. So this is x. It doesn't matter which side is which. It's just the way I drew it. Write an expression that represents the perimeter in terms of x. Well, perimeter is the distance around the whole thing. I add up all the sides. That's what the perimeter is. So I know, because this is a rectangle, this side is also x. This side is also 5x minus 2. So what I can do is say, okay, I have 2 5x minus 2 sides plus 2 sides that just have x. I'm going to add up all of these sides. I have 2 of these sides, so I'm going to multiply it by 2. I have 2 of these sides, so I'm going to multiply it by 2. Okay. Distribute. 5 times 2 is 10x. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Plus 2 times x is 2x. My next step is I combine like terms. I have 10x here. I have 2x here. 10 plus 2, that's 12x. And I'm just left with that negative 4. So the perimeter of this rectangle, if I ever figured out what x is, the perimeter would be 12x minus 4. And that's your notes for distributing and combining like terms. Day 1, simplifying expressions.